Okay, here's assignment 2, much shorter than assignment 1. These actually aren't as hard as they look. It says write a simpler form of the complex fraction. Complex fraction means you have a fractions within fractions. Okay, so here's this first one. You got 5 over x, and then there's a middle line. You got 7 over y. You want to make that line in the middle somewhat. So that's your big fraction. You got two littler fractions. Here's how you're going to simplify this. Circle the top, circle the bottom. There's no adding, no subtracting. Some of them they're going to be, but this one's not. So that's good. So what I do to divide this, I go 5 over x, and then instead of dividing, we're going to write times, and then we flip the bottom. We reciprocate the bottom, so it goes from 7 over y to y over 7. You just multiply it across. 5 times y would be 5y. X times 7 would be 7x. Problem solved. Okay, that one's pretty easy. So is the next one. 10 over y divided by 3 over x. So again, circle the numerator and denominator of the big fraction in the middle. So there's no add. We don't have to add or subtract anything. So what we do is we go 10 over y times x over 3, because we want to reciprocate that bottom, and that's going to be 10x over 3y. That's it. Okay, now the game changes on the next one. Okay, we have 4 over x plus 8 over y over 3 over x plus 2 over y. Circle the top, circle the bottom, okay? Now, before you go flipping anything, you got to combine fractions, okay? You got to add these fractions, but you need a common denominator. But this is going to be easy to do a common denominator. This has x, this does not, so I put an x and an 8x. This has y, this does not, so I just put a y and a y. Now here's the point of that. Now we have the denominators the same. They're both x, y. So cross out one of the x, y's. You don't need them both. Extend the line and just cross it out. So up top here we have 4y plus 8x over xy times. Now I go to the bottom. You got to get common denominators to make an addition problem out of this. This has x, this does not, so x, x. This has y, this does not, so y, y. So now you got common denominators, so get rid of one of them. You don't need them both. Once they're common, you just need one, okay? But I would want to flip this one, so I want the xy on top, and then 3y plus 2x on the bottom. Now, how are you going to multiply that? Well, pretty easily. If you have an xy on top and an xy on bottom, you can cancel that, okay? You don't want to cancel these, okay, because they're different parentheses. There's 2 terms, that's 2 terms. So that's my answer. I don't need you doing factoring on this. 4y plus 8x, 3y plus 2x. Okay, now I'm going to do another one kind of similar to that. Make sure you're taking good notes so that when you get to the assignment, you can go look back on them. I know it's easier when I make the packets, but yeah. Okay, next one, we have 5 over x plus 8 over y, then 3 over x plus 4 over y. So again, we want to be able to multiply these fractions, but you have to simplify the top and the bottom. Okay, that's a y right there. That is an x, that does not, so x, x. That is a y, that does not, so y, y. Now I have common denominators, and I'm going to have 5y plus 8x over xy. Okay, do the bottom the same way, so that has an x, that does not. That is a y, that does not. Okay, remember when you bring it to the bottom. Okay, now I want to put the xy on top. I need to flip the bottom one, so xy on top, and then 3y plus 4x on the bottom. Okay, remember these are parenthesized, these are not. So I have a factor of x, factor of x, factor of y, factor of y. So that's what I have, 5y plus 8x over 3y plus 4x. You can put the parentheses around them or you don't have to, it doesn't matter. Okay, next one we got 8 divided by 3 over x plus y. Here's the top, here's the bottom. Now I think the top's pretty much done. It's 8, you put a 1 under it. But the bottom, make a line. That has x, that doesn't. So you go x, x. Now you have common denominators. But you want the bottom on the top now. X on top. And then on the bottom I put 3 plus yx. Okay, I don't think you can cross anything out. Okay, 8 times, because I have an 8 on top, out, don't have it on bottom. X on top, no x on bottom. So 8 times x is 8x. And then 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times yx would just be 1yx. Okay, that's done. Okay, next one, we've got 4 over 3 divided by y plus x. Top, bottom. Top's good, 4 over 1. Now I got to simplify this into one fraction. Underline it. If it doesn't have a denominator, you underline it. We have a y here, not here. And now the bottoms are the same, so we can extend the line, cross out one of them. Now we want that y now on top, and on bottom we're going to have 3 plus xy. Okay, parenthesize where you got plus, you won't be crossing anything out in there. So you got 4, nothing, y, nothing. So you just multiply across. 4 times y is 4y. Then 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times xy would be 1xy. Okay, then I got 2 more. 4 plus 3 divided by x. 3 plus 4 divided by 3x. Okay, now we got to simplify the top and bottom. So I put, underline that. That has x, that doesn't. X, x. Okay. Now the denominators are the same, so it combines into 1. So on top we have 4x plus 3. And on the bottom I just have x. Once I have a common denominator, I just make it into 1. But cross out one of the denominators. You don't need 2 of them. Times, now I need to simplify this. Okay, I got a 3 and an x here, so I'm going to need to do that here as well. So 3x times 3x. Now, I'll get rid of one of these. Now, you want to make a little change here. You're going to have 3x is going to go to the top, but on bottom, take 3 times 3x. That's 9x plus 4. Okay, parenthesize those. Now you really can't get rid of any parentheses. Okay, those are set. You're going to have that. You're going to have that in your answer. But your x's can be canceled. Okay. So what does that leave me with? Well, I take 4x times 3. That's 12x. And then 3 times 3 is 9. Then the bottom's just 9x plus 4. I don't need you to factor that. I mean, you can if you want. You can factor out a 3, but it's up to you. Okay, the next one we got, last one, 3 plus 8 over x, 2 plus 5 over 2x. So again, the top and the bottom both need to be simplified. So underline it, put an x, x, now we're good. So I have 3x plus 8 over x. That's why you get the common denominator, so then you can just make it into one fraction. Okay, then here we have a 2x, so we're going to need a 2x, and then I also need to times 2x on top. Okay, so I have 2x. Now that goes to the top, remember, because I'm dividing. On dividing, you flip the second fraction. Okay, that's how dividing fractions works. Okay, again, you have to reciprocate the bottom. The top just stays what it is, but the bottom fraction has to be reciprocated, which means 2x now is my top, and this is now going to be my bottom. So 2 times 2x is 4x plus 5. So those are binomials there. They're not the same. Don't worry about factoring them. And then the monomials outside, you can cancel out the x's, but that means then you have 4x plus 5 on the bottom, but on the top you need to distribute the 2. So it's going to be 6x plus 16. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that.